You're live. Hey. Hold on. Hey. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Ooh, hold on. Let's bring this down just a little bit. I think so. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll see. That'll be exciting. That will be exciting. All right, hey everybody. Welcome to the world premiere of One Love, Find a Way song from the Obtainium Flow album, Bourgeoisie Paper Jam. Yay! So what we wanted to do, Bruce is playing a little bit of it on the Kayla, because the Kayla ukulele bass was on it.
Was actually the featured bass
on the track. So he's playing just a little bit of that.
A little bit of the Kayla on that, yes. And you can kind of see over here.
Where? If you're on YouTube, you can see
that.
Over there.
You can't see it on Facebook. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
But on YouTube, you can see the keys over there. That Phantom. That is actually the Phantom O. I use the Phantom or the FA06 on this one, right? Okay. And I just got rid of the FA06 and I got the Phantom O. So kind of in the same ballpark, but and you can see it on YouTube. Yeah, you can see that there's a montage over here. Yeah, that's also was featured on there. So a little bit of montage, a little bit of Phantom 06, or as I'm looking at the tracks, maybe the montage wasn't on there. I think it was all Phantom.
Okay, so we wanted to thank you guys for coming. Again, we reached out to you on your comments and on the shares of our BPJ ads over on on Facebook, and invited you guys. So hopefully you were able to make it. If not, it'll be in replay.
It will be in replay because we always start on time.
Yes.
Ever since we went to a Seal concert.
Yes.
He was at Meadowbrook or something like that. He's at Meadowbrook. He came in late, and Seal kind of called us out. And it seemed like he was kind of saying, figure black folks
will be late. Right.
Yeah,
that's what I kind of opening act.
He didn't have an opening act.
And we were tipping in, and he looked like he was talking directly to us.
He looked like he talked. It wasn't that many people there.
No.
Surprisingly,
because people were coming in later.
We assumed
there was going to be an opening act that we just didn't know about.
Right.
And so we thought, well, hey, we'll miss that. We'll go ahead and have dinner.
Right. And then we'll go ahead and we'll slide on in.
Yeah.
And still already got started.
He was like, look, y'all need to get yourselves better prepared so you can get the concerts on time.
Because he let us out. We didn't stay there for the whole show.
Oh, yeah.
He let us out. We were out by like 9:30.
Yeah.
And it was, because I didn't start at 7 or something.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that's why we were coming from work, so we stopped to eat. And that's when, again, he was fussing for a while. And I don't blame him. So we wanted to welcome you and thank you because Every Heartbeat music video has reached 20K views, a little over 20K on YouTube. So thank you, YouTube.
Thank you.
And Every Heartbeat and Give Your Love Freely, those two singles combined have been added to over 48 playlists on Spotify.
That's good news.
And so we thank you guys because we're trying to get more people over to Spotify, try to build our profile a little bit. So to be able to do that with the help of our people at Groover, to be able to get that done was amazing. We started out, I think, on like 8 or 9 on that first single, and we were thrilled with that. Right. But then now it's all the way up to 48. When I log in, it tells me that we were on 48 playlists. So thank you so much for that. And if you haven't already, gone over to Spotify, make sure you follow us. We're trying to build those followings. Also, Funkalicious, I know that's not BPJ, but it's BPJ adjacent for all our funk fans. The music video has reached almost 80K plays on YouTube. So we're excited about that. Thank you for the guys and gals who keep coming because it says, I checked the stats today, 50% of the plays that we're getting are subscribers.
Yeah, and it's pretty remarkable for that one. Because that one's been up for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And I think it's really doing well for us. So I mean it's
mostly Honduras.
Yeah, it's like 1,000 plays a week.
Yeah.
So it's really doing
So we're excited about that. Yeah, because again when you're doing stuff that you feel and not stuff for the algorithm or for what you think people want to hear, it is exciting to find out that people are really into it.
They're really checking it out and everything. Oh wow!
They're coming back.
You guys on YouTube, you kind of got a lot of stuff. Like you kind of, I'm looking over there and I can see the MPCX. Right there, and right behind that is the Federa.
Yeah, back there.
Yeah, you can see that. So wow, I mean, you guys are really kind of seeing a lot of stuff. And you know, I got a shout on our last clip that we did.
Yeah,
I think it's for Rejoice. That was the last clip that we did, and somebody said, "Hey, I think that would sound great on a fretless."
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, like kind of right behind my head, you can see my Mexican-made Fender jazz bass.
Yeah.
It's Purple Rain Purple.
Purple Rain Purple. We like that.
Yes. So.
All right. So don't forget to stay tuned because at 7:45, the One Love Find a Way music video is going to premiere 7:45 immediately following this live stream, and we're going to watch it with you. It is the first time that we have watched it in public, so that'll be exciting. Also, we're celebrating 37K YouTube subscribers.
37.7.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
He's on top of it.
Yeah, it's like 37.7K.
So we're excited about that.
YouTube subscribers. So that's been growing exponentially, which has been great. So
yeah, because we had some people tell us years ago that we didn't need to do all the different things that we're doing because you guys know we have the podcast, we have like vlogging, travel videos, we have of course the music videos, and then unboxings and all kinds of odd combinations of videos. And there were people, and they always tell you, find your niche, and then just make a separate channel for all the other stuff. And of course, we disregarded all of that because we are the people that we are, and had to throw all of it in. That is that Prejippie mindset, preppy, jitterbug, and hippie. So we kind of put it all together on one channel. So the fact that it's growing is really exciting for us. So thank you guys. If you're not over there, please go over to YouTube and help us with. We're throwing gas on that fire, just trying to build it up as much as we can. Also, again, for Spotify, we have a new canvas. You guys, are you familiar with the canvas? It's when you play the track on your phone, you get the images.
Oh.
And so we made a special one that we pulled from.
For this particular song.
Song that we did a video shoot in a park. It was during the pandemic. So you will even see snips of that probably in the One Love video.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we actually recorded a music video during the COVID time, so we had to go outside.
That's kind of how old the song is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of...
It's not quite that old, but it's almost, yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at the final mix was done in 21.
Yeah.
So it wasn't 2020 as much as it might have been written in, but but the final mix was done in 21. So this is as long as we've ever kind of set on something. Yeah, and
we're trying because we talked about the fact that we're doing the waterfall method where we're releasing one single at a time, and then we'll do about 6 singles, and then we will release the album. We're thinking sometime in October.
Yeah.
And that'll be when we release, because there are a lot of songs that are like those hidden gems that you may not, they may not be necessarily things that people are interested in for playlists, but they might be something that actually touches people. And so in order for you to get the complete picture for our many flavors of reggae, you're gonna need to, and some others, because that's the Prejippie mindset, right? We kind of do a little bit of everything, right? So there was a question asked about what are our influences for this One Love song.
Oh, easy. Bob Marley and Sting.
Okay, so
no more than anything else.
I mean, I know the title is a nod.
It's a nod to Bob Marley, just period. I mean, like one of the first albums that I think I kind of, once I got past my Jackson 5 era.
Okay.
And came out of my Sly Stone era.
Okay.
One of the first albums I really kind of fell in love with was Exodus by Bob Marley. My cousin Gary Cartwright, give you a shout out. He had that album, and from cover to cover, you know, and I don't know, I was maybe 10.
Oh wow!
And that
Got you
record
early, huh?
was just, but you know, one of the first records I ever liked was I Can See Clearly.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've always kind of had something for that, or even hearing like Eric Clapton's version of I Shot the Sheriff. I didn't know Bob Marley's version.
Right.
I heard Eric Clapton's version.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I just already had
Flavor
a certain
for
feeling for that reggae kind of vibe.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say that, and of course the Police, you know. So having that, being open, third world.
Okay, right. Yes.
Yeah, that album. I think it was Journey to Addis was the name of the album that Now That We Found Love was on.
Yeah.
So, you know, definitely Third World. I throw them in there.
Yeah.
As far as just being influences on that whole reggae component.
Yeah.
You know, and just people along the way, as far as, you know, feeling like you get permission to do it.
Yeah.
You know, because like we've known Lenny Kravitz to
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of traverse there.
And even Prince.
Prince.
It was very light.
Very lightly.
Blue
But
light. Yeah.
you know, and you know, but not as heavily as like, you know, Ben Harper
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and you know, and of course, you know, Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
And others, you know, and you know, Fishbone with the Sky thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So and Sky, that's kind of was there for me too.
It's like the punk reggae, right?
Yeah, it kind of like that. You know, I would kind of put like English beat
Okay.
and that same vibe as far as kind of like ska kind of thing. And,
Yeah.
you know, and of course UB40.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, hearing them. Later, Burning Spear.
Yes.
You know, starting to hear stuff from Peter Tosh. Just, you know, all of this kind of, you get that whole vibe of it, you know.
And even Permission to Do It. There was something you were working on today that kind of sounded a little bit like a Peter Gabriel with that Used to Endure kind of.
Yeah,
So,
and I think I've always been kind of attracted to like that world vibe, you know. And that's so kind of long-windedly to say kind of really what this. It's always been there for us, you know. I mean, I think if you go back to like Welcome to My World, there's My Brother's Keeper, there's that other song. It slips my that kind of escapes my mind right now. I can't think of it.
Okay.
But anyway, it's on there. And actually, it was the one that really kind of kicked that record off. And then after that, there's of course Hero that's got kind of elements of reggae in it.
Yeah, a little world flavor.
World flavor, but probably the Sky element you would hear more in Chameleon.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean that.
Yeah, and actually that was probably the precursor to this group of songs, right? Because it's on.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, but I think if you went like further back in our catalog,
for sure.
Like Dying for You.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of always done that. We've done a version of Rings, which is going to show up here too.
Yeah.
So it's Blow the Man Down.
Yeah.
You know. So just it's kind of been there.
Yeah. But we hadn't grouped
a whole collection of songs together, and they're like, to me on this record, they're like 4 songs that I think really bookmark each other very well.
What do you mean?
It just go together very well.
Okay.
You know, that to me, that ostensibly, you know, I think really live in the same pool. And that would be, you know, Give Your Love Freely.
Yeah.
One Love. It's gonna be
all right, which is our next single next.
Right. Yeah. And Lovely Mystic. So I think all those songs kind of, if you hear those together, you know, there's definitely a relationship between those songs. Yeah. They're not quite as related as Bass Cyclone and Black Superhero thing. But those songs are really
you're back to back, and then you have to do whiplash, and then you realize, it goes someplace a little differently after it starts. But
same value though.
Yeah,
but
same soup.
Yeah.
All right, so make sure you guys check out that Canvas for One Love. So when you play it on your phone, it has this looping video. So that's kind of cool. Okay, good. Our song album influences, we did that. how many singles are they? We said we're gonna probably cap it off at roughly 6, and the one that will be a little off the beaten path will be rings, only because I love rings, and it just has a world of its own, because we're hoping people will start using it for their weddings. I call it the Nigerian wedding song because I can just see some couples boogieing down the aisle with it, with that little Nigerian flavor. I love the footage I see from some of their weddings, so I thought this would be a perfect song for that. Even though that was not why our original purpose for writing it, of course. Right. Original purpose for writing it was to celebrate our actual wedding. So yeah, it actually is from way back when.
Right. You had the lyrics a long time, and I don't think we set it to music until like 10 years later.
Yeah.
Something like that. So
yeah, but I love it. Also, a person from our Facebook group, from the Bourgeoisie Paper Jam Facebook group, asked about the studio setup. So what are some key, I guess, pieces of equipment? And I know you kind of touched on a few, but maybe share a little bit more.
Yeah, so some of the stuff you won't be able to see. So like we're sitting directly in front of the iMac.
Yeah, so the Mac is there.
Yeah, it's kind of there. And then I have the KRK monitors, the Rocket 8 monitors. I have those there.
You won't be able to see those.
You can't see those, but like if you look on some of our clips, a lot of times you will see,
yes,
because right in front of us, like I'm putting my hand on it right now, is the Behringer mixer,
yes,
right? So I normally do kind of like a hybrid approach to recording. So meaning that I cut all the tracks inside of the computer, but I bring them back out to mix. And so that's the hybrid approach to mixing. And it's kind of a combination because I use certain plugins in the computer along with using some of the effects from the board. So that's the same thing for, I use the board primarily for monitoring. And what I actually use for recording like guitars, vocals, is I have a UAD Apollo.
Oh yeah.
So you can't see that, right. It's over here on the side. So, and I use the UAD Apollo for all the tracking. And, you know, I normally track with a little light compression, plug in off the UAD. We just pointed out that over here, and you can see this on Facebook.
Oh, like, you mean on YouTube?
Not on YouTube, sorry. You can see us on YouTube.
It's over there.
I have like the montage, it's 8, it's the weighted 88 key. And then up here, I have the Phantom 06.
Over there.
And that's a 61 key, right? I just recently got the Helix.
Yes.
The floor, the Helix down here on the floor. As far as other gear,
use Logic.
Yeah, I use Logic Pro. Use a lot of plugins in there. I have like Compact. I think it's Complete. I'm sorry, Complete. I think it's Complete Select that I have. And so I use a lot of that stuff from Native Instruments. I also have Machine from Native Instruments. I don't think I've really work that into our workflow.
Yeah. But the MPC has been getting a workout because now, I don't know if you guys know, you probably know because we haven't shared it yet, but Bruce is on this mission for Idea a Day. Yeah. So you know how we do weekly, the song challenge clips? He's been doing one per day and it's been nuts. It's been bananas. So he's been using a lot of the machine upstairs, which is the
MPC 1 Plus.
Right. Yeah, so and we have an unboxing video for that. So if you want to check that out, you know, make sure you're going over there.
Yeah, and then we also have one where I was talking about the plugins.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a follow up on that.
Yeah.
So if you've watched that, I kind of solved that plugin issue. So then I got to the end of that. But, you know, we're going to end up posting that. Yeah. Okay. Just kind of walking people through. Yeah. What happened with that
and how you solved it?
Yeah,
kind
of. Okay. And so so I also had an MPC-X, and it just like what you're saying, for me, the workflow of the MPC-X works better. And
what do you mean?
So then it does on the machine.
On the machine, okay.
Yeah. So the thing about the MPCs, unless you get like the MPC Studio, any of the standalone MPCs, they're all the same.
Okay.
The software is the same, the exact same thing. So when I'm working on the One Plus, it's exactly like I'm working on the X.
Okay.
The difference is the X has a lot more buttons on it. It has a huge screen on it, right?
Okay.
So, but other than that, they're the exact same thing.
Okay.
I enjoy working on the instrument in standalone mode.
Okay. And why is that?
Standalone mode, it makes sense to me.
Okay.
There's a couple of things I'm still kind of working on as far as sampling stuff. I think I might have to do a tutorial on that. But, as far as just kind of pulling together, a sequence, stringing those sequences together into a song, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's easy to export tracks from there to, whatever is your DAW of choice.
Okay.
I just drag them into Logic. I'm good to go.
Okay.
So I like that part of it. For me, the MPC software sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like that program. It doesn't make sense to me. You get more out of the machines if you do use them along with the computer.
Okay, that's what we're hearing. Right?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm hearing. I mean, and now they have the MPC X SE, which is a bumped up version of the MPC X that I have. So I think it has more RAM in it.
Okay.
They give you all of the plugins that they normally give you with the MPC Key 61. But other than that, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same device again. So,
yeah.
But between the machine and the MPC, I have to say I like the MPC.
And that's why you have two of them.
Yeah. I actually had the machine all the way back in 2013.
Yeah.
Or it might be 14. Somewhere up in there I got that. And I had the Machine Studio. And I really thought, because prior to that, I got the MPC Renaissance.
Okay.
And the MPC Renaissance was not a standalone device. You had to use it with the software.
Okay.
And the software that they had before was even worse than the one they have now.
Oh, wow. Not good.
And so when I was working on that, I could never, I was like, forget it. So I might have stayed with that maybe 2 or 3 months, and I just sold it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I got to get out of there.
Out of here.
And so then that's when I went over to Machine.
Yeah.
But the problem was I could never, I'm not saying never, but it was not, I couldn't comfortably work Machine into my workflow.
Right. Which is unusual. I'm saying unusual the way that you use it, because you're using it to write more traditional songs and not hip hop or rap, which seems like is what they kind of
what each one is kind of made for that. But I like, the thing I like about the MPC is that you get 8 audio tracks on it, which for me, especially when you're just kind of pulling an idea together, that's more than enough. For me, I could do like stereo guitar track, do a bass part, do a lead guitar part. I've done a couple of vocal lines. I've done a couple of different things. It's more than enough. And and if you want, what you could do is basically take that, turn it into a sample, and then run it through a program, and just trigger it. Kind of like via MIDI.
Yeah.
So if you need more tracks, you can always clear it up. Yeah. And it's easy to kind of get around and do that. So just to kind of plug in and get going on ideas, it was great for me because, before when we would go on the road, and I don't mean like on the road, like performing.
Right. We like to travel.
Yeah, we take vacations. I like to take stuff with me, and, I like to write. But a lot of times, like with the computer, it's a whole setup. I gotta get my hard drive set up. I gotta get my
you have to have the laptop, the hard drive. All the
other kind of accessories that go along with it, especially since Apple doesn't give you that many USB ports on it. So you gotta have your hub, you gotta have all this stuff set up.
Everything has to be plugged into a couple of strips.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the bag gets more and more full.
Yeah.
And so now with the MPC
One Plus, all you gotta do is pull out the bag and you're going.
Yeah.
You hook up some headphones, you get it all.
Yeah.
You got to plug it up. That's it. But, you can actually, from a third party, get a battery if you want to attach a battery to it. It's not a big deal to me to just plug it up.
Yeah. At least it's only one thing versus
it's one
our
thing,
tangle of cords that we used to have.
That's all I do. And then I can get started on an idea. I bring a little keyboard with me. I can just hook that up and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
So, and then push comes to shove, you don't even have to do that. I'm getting better at kind of manipulating the pads and playing, keyboards on the pads. Now I'm, figuring that part out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I mean, I really do enjoy having the NPC being a part of this environment.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we like that. So thank you, Facebook group member who asked about that. We wanted to let you guys know that we offer a free gift of our merch for if you join the street team. So if you click the link down in the description for BPJ Street Team, there is a gift waiting for you, and we have appreciated all the people who have taken advantage of that, but we wanted to offer it to you guys as well. We were going to do a t-shirt this time. We'll have that ready for next time. That if you are interested in Altanium Flow, which is our new album, which will be our new album, that t-shirt will be available next time. So just make sure you're ready for that. Also, our Patreon, if you want to support what we're doing, please join us over at Patreon. We'll have the link below, and there are different levels of support, but we appreciate anything that you guys feel like sharing with us to help us do what we do, because we do a lot. Also, all of the discography for most of the albums are over on Bandcamp. And last time we talked a little bit about basses used for the song. This time for One Love, it is the Kayla.
Yeah.
But what was unique about how you did the Kayla?
So because the Kayla is such a deep bass, it sometimes it doesn't cut through as well.
Okay.
So what I did was I just double tracked it. So meaning that I tracked it once, doing the deep part, then I just went up an octave.
Okay.
So I tracked it like that. Now I've been doing a lot more of that. So sometimes I'll actually use like an octave pedal for it if I kind of want more of a synthy kind of sound to it. But if I kind of want to beef it up a little bit, and give it a little bit more tone. And so what I'll do is that higher bass, I'll EQ it. Yeah, I'll take a little bit more of the low end out of that and kind of situate the high end.
Okay.
And this one was kind of like I did both that, and I think it was not only did I double track the Kayla, but I also added a guitar. We've been doing that a lot anyway, and I think I stole that from the Police because so a lot of phase on that guitar. Yeah, so I mean that and that I think this is the high version of let's get that there. I like the wrong thing here. There we go. And that's the Kayla of an octave. And then so that's what it's really airy sounding bass too. So but I always kind of like it because the attack on it it's almost like it's got a gate on it to me. So I kind of like that part. It doesn't leave a lot of air to it. So and it's got a slightly different sound because this got like tape wound strings on it. It's got a different sound than like my Fender Jazz bass. So my 78 Fender Jazz bass, which I think everyone might be able to see it.
Right here.
Back over this way.
This way, if you're on Facebook.
On Facebook, you can see it very clearly.
Yeah.
But it's got a natural finish on it. For the longest, that was the only bass I had. Like the first Tony Webb record we did, it's all bass and it's all that bass. All that bass. So I always just string it up with, round strings on it. Still feels great. Since I had the Federa and then I also had a Sandberg, I strung this up with flat rounds on it. And so it gives more of a different sound to it. So I think on Lovely Mystic, it's the Fender Jazz bass.
Okay.
So it's the Fender Jazz bass with the flats on it, as opposed to this particular bass.
So you'll be hearing that when we release that single.
Right,
Yeah. So,
and I think it's gonna be all right. I think it's the Sandberg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and Give You Love Freely, I think might be the Sandberg too.
Okay.
Maybe.
And we love the Sandberg, California Nighthawk. All black. We like that.
Yes. And that shout out to the guys at Chicago Music Exchange.
Yes.
So that's a great place to go,
Yeah.
musicians, if you want to just
to try a lot of different hands-on.
Yeah, and their guitar room is just
amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And the bass room is in the basement.
Yes, basement. Yeah. Very funny. Yeah, so we are definitely going to do the next live stream next month, July 28th, so a month from now, Friday, 7 p.m. So if you want to hear that next single, but in about 15 minutes, we will be premiering One Love, Find a Way music video. So please stick around for that. How are you feeling about the album in general? I know you were talking about it's hard to know the waterfall method, when to kind of clamp it off because
sometimes it's like I started, like there was one song you were saying I definitely couldn't take that one off, right?
Yeah, no.
So,
I'm sorry.
So that's one song I've been thinking about
taking songs off, but he can't take this one song off because
right.
This is the way we start our day. It's an important song.
Right. So anyway, but yeah, so it's sort of like I remain in edit mode, and so with the waterfall.
And he remains in writing mode always. That's always the hard part is you get excited about the songs when you're writing, when you're recording, and when they first come out. I know when we first were shooting the music videos for all the Sugar Fit, it was so exciting. And then as it, in the first few weeks, it was exciting, the flurry of activity. And then after that, I lost momentum. It's like we shot all the music videos, but I hadn't edited them. So it was hard to keep that because we were moving on kind of to writing new things.
Yeah.
And to, exploring other things. So, me, I'm always looking for the next creative thing. So it just always was something else that took my attention.
Right.
And so this way, I feel like we're able to give it the love that it deserves. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had thought that our next record was really going to be an acoustic record.
Okay.
Because that's there are a couple of songs that we did that lend themselves to that are kind of like quasi acoustic electric.
Yeah.
So because I think along with those songs was Enraptured.
Yes.
So because I think Enraptured is like one of the first songs for this record. And I think it was during the throes of the pandemic too.
Yeah.
So and I hope that doesn't kill this video. It might have.
It's okay, whatever.
It was during that world experience that we had where we had to wear masks,
right?
And we had to stay in the house.
You mean Canadian wildfires? No,
it was during that period of time.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so there was a group of songs. I think "Love and Feeling," which is not out, or I don't know if it's coming out. But we redid like Next to You. We did it acoustically. Flower Girl. Did that acoustically where it was around the acoustic guitar. But the thing that was weird about Enraptured and Flower Girl, and then later Rings, was that they had that world. Feel to it. So like we redid like a Sweet Thing. Did that acoustically. So this acoustic thing was coming together. And Mississippi Valley Drive was done, same thing. So I mean, we were definitely going down that path, and I think One Love is what changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of opened up a door because One Love and not Give You Love Freely, but It's Gonna Be All Right.
Mm-hmm.
They were kind of written at the same time.
Okay.
We kind of were, Matter of fact, that's what I kind of like when I was working with them on the board. I was working on them at the same time, and I think I saved It's Gonna Be All Right on top of
Oh no!
One Love. So I had to kind of
go back and
rejigger that a little bit. I know because I mixed One Love first.
Okay.
So I was like, oh well, at least it's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like this is what I pulled up on the board now. It's like a reasonable facsimile. Not the.
Well, we're gonna encourage you. I know you're gonna be hearing like what we think are the quote unquote singles from the album, but we're gonna encourage you guys to listen to the rest of the album when it comes out because it has those like hidden gems. Like for me, Gone is one of those, and that I don't know, tugs at my heart.
That was another one of the acoustic ones.
Oh well, so Gone, and then of course Daylight is that song to get your day going, and Instant Lover is a cute little quirky song.
Another acoustic one.
And it's a remake, right? But it's one that again they're cute and quirky. But they just give a different vibe. And then of course Enraptured, again, there's something for you if you know you've been through some things, but you're ready to be lifted up, or you want to, I guess, be a little introspective about it before you lift yourself up. I think it's kind of like you're going through something, but then there's something on the other side of that. And I think that is kind of what this album speaks to, that is the obtainium flow. It, you know, getting in flow and that it is obtainable, that joy, that peace of mind, you know, that if you just think about it, tap into that inner, you know, guidance, that intuition, that gut, that heart, that you can find the joy. That you don't have to, that there's always distractions. There are always things that, you know, can bring you down, but don't let it. That, you know, that, okay, realize it, you know, it's not like you just putting on rose colored glasses and you're not paying attention to the rest of the world. Understand what's going on in the world, but then also, I guess, protect your own, you know, your own existence, because life is short for us, you know, for us as humans. So it seems like the world's going to hell in a handbasket, but as you always point out, it's always, if you look at any period of time in human history ever, they've always thought that the world was going.
You're always living in the last days.
Right.
Yeah,
so
you know, I've been living the last days all my life.
Right. So, but our time here is very short when you consider. So you have to find the things, and you know, we spent enough years. I guess I'm the main one to talk because I spent enough years complaining about what wasn't right, and I guess this to me is the album that speaks to thinking about what you can do. Right. What you can do to change that.
Yeah. It's almost like what can be right. And I think the thing that was kind of difficult, you know, when we're thinking about even doing the record was, to me, is that because there's so many themes of love that can come off as corny. It can, you know what I mean? So I get it can really come out that way. And I think for me, it's always a struggle, you know, to make sure that you're loving yourself. You know, that, you know, more than anything else. I mean, there's so many, like, I think in this one, you know, you say, love somebody. And really that somebody's you. You know, right. It has to start with you. And so it's sort of like, especially like this song is so, to me, idealistic. It's just, you know, it's so to a place that I can say I aspire to be, but not even close. You know what I mean? Just not even close to what is being depicted. You know, and so I mean, I think that's the thing. And some things, to me, that's the tie between some of these songs. To me, it's sort of like I give you love freely. It's sort of like you go through being hurt and all the rest, and you hurt yourself. And so you kind of have to give your love freely to yourself. You know, and that's the only way you can give it to others, right? Is that you got to give it to you. And so it's having that aspect to it. And then there's this thing that when you hear One Love, this aspirational place to be, you know, where you could really truly have, at least to me, it's just about just loving unconditionally. Which to me is so deep.
It's deep, so and now it seems like that is in shorter supply than it seemed, you know, a while back. That we realize that humans are flawed, and that as much as we do good, that we also do bad.
Right.
But a lot of times it's the bad, I guess, actions that define how we are viewed.
Yeah.
So I guess the thing is to understand and to forgive yourself. Like you said, we've all done bad things.
Yeah.
I mean, some of us worse than others, but I'm saying we've all done something that we're not proud of, that we wouldn't shout from a top of a building, right? So, but you have to forgive yourself and be able to move on and love
continue,
others,
right?
and forgive others,
and continue to love you, you know, and realize that I think that's like obtaining flow. You know, lovely mystic is almost like, hey, you know, I'm a work in progress.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that. I think a rapture is that thing too, is to say, hey, you know, it's not perfect,
right?
You know, I mean, but it's trying to say it's. I think Stevie Wonder said it best, you know, find the joy inside your tears, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that's that same
idea
that's kind of coming out in Rapture. So if the record comes off as preachy, I guess I feel like we're kind of preaching
to ourselves first, because I always say, especially with daylight, is reaching for the light. It's always being open to, I guess, like a flower, always being open to letting the rays fall on you and then reach for it.
Right.
You know, so you can help it soothe you, help it heal you.
Right. It's always kind of the rise, you know, that you got peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
And so that when you're in the valley, always looking to the peak.
Yeah.
And trying to remind yourself to always look to the peak.
Yeah.
You know, because there's always times in our lives where we're going through stuff. I mean, you know, it was right after Easter.
Yeah.
Easter.
It was Easter evening.
Yeah, Easter evening.
8 o'clock Easter.
Right. I heard a big bang in the garage, and you know the whole ceiling in the garage
fell on top of both our cars.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, who knew that was going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, and so they had to destroy the garage door in order to get the cars out.
Yeah.
So one of the cars was really damaged. It had to go to the shop. It's still not done with the garage yet.
No.
It just had so many different implications throughout. Yeah. And these just things that happen to you that you never planned for. It just happens.
Yeah, but then we have to look to the gratitude is, none of us got hurt.
Yeah.
You know, the floor from the bedroom above did not cave in. It was not structural. We didn't know that then, though.
No.
But our son had just come in from taking the trash out through the garage.
Yeah.
And had come back in like 15, 20 minutes before.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he was not hurt, that we were not hurt, that we weren't driving the cars in or out when that happened, or getting in the car, or out to the So again, we're grateful.
And our daughter, she wasn't here; she was out at Mount Pleasant at the time, so she was at school. So I mean, but again, it's like, you know, you have things in your life that, you know, that just happen. And again, I don't compare that to things that, you know, and that's the other thing you think about. It could have been something more physical.
Yeah.
You know, that could have happened. That it's like, you know, at least it wasn't that. You know? But still, just things that's out of your control that can kind of take you into a valley. Yeah. And so you always kind of try to gear yourself towards the peaks. Yeah. You know, so, and as we were going through things like, you know, that thing that we're going through, we all have to
the big P, right?
And wear masks and all that kind of stuff. We were going through that. You know, at least to me, it was always saying, you know, one day, we're gonna be back.
This is all gonna be a memory,
right? This is gonna be over. That you know, is keeping in
perspective.
Thinking that, you know, this is a valley. Yeah, this is a valley right now. Yeah, this is the weird period of time that we're in. Yeah, but we're gonna get back to normal. Yeah, you know. So I mean, and you'll never get back to where you were. Yeah, you know, and I think that's another thing that we kind of touched on too, like in Lovely Mystic, is that whole thing that sometimes you have to let go of the past. Like sometimes what you might be thinking is like, wow, if it could just be like it used to be. Right. Things will never be like they used to be.
And even if it were, I think about Pet Sematary. If you've ever seen that movie, when it goes back, it's never quite the same.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is that, you know, when fashions come back, they come back a little bit different. And, you know, it's like things they're never the same. Mm-hmm. There's always something different about it. Yeah. And
so you have to appreciate when you're going through it the first time. I guess it's
yeah,
the thing.
you do it, but you have to let go yesterday.
Yeah, you do.
In order to enjoy tomorrow. And to appreciate tomorrow, because if you are constantly trying to turn tomorrow into yesterday, you're fighting a losing battle.
Yeah.
It's just you're not gonna win that battle.
Yeah.
And so I had to keep thinking to myself, especially as you get to a certain age.
Yeah.
Your instinct is to feel like, oh wow, but man, during my day,
right,
during this or during that, it was this, and it's kind of like, well, it was,
right,
but it isn't,
right,
it ain't gonna be,
right,
not anymore. I mean, this is it.
Yeah,
we're here,
right.
You know what I mean?
You gotta do it. That's all you can control,
right?
Yeah.
Can't go back.
So we hope you guys will go on over to YouTube. If you're already on YouTube, we're about to premiere the video. The video was just finished this morning. So going over there. Thank you guys for coming. And we'll see you on, hold on, what's the date?
July 28th.
July 28th, Friday, 7 p.m. for the next. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Thank
bye.
you.
Peace out.
All right, let's go over.
I was doing live talking.
That's what you're supposed to do. And okay, now let me get over